sleep. Something that everybody needs, but something that not everybody has enough of. In this documentary, I'd like to talk about what sleep deprivation is, the effects, both mentally and physically, of sleep deprivation, and the treatments and cures of what we can do to combat this issue. In the dictionary, sleep deprivation is just described as the condition of not getting enough sleep. But if you look in the medical dictionary, it gets a bit more detailed. There, it's described as a sufficient lack of restorative sleep and a cumulative period of time so as to cause both physical and psychiatric symptoms and affect routine tasks. But, since that's a lot of information, in my term, we'll just say it's not getting enough sleep and then affecting both your physical and mental attributions. Up next are the causes of sleep deprivation, the biggest two being your sleeping pattern as well as sleeping disorders. Your sleeping pattern, also known as your circadian rhythm, can be thrown off by staying up all day and sleeping all night, making your brain think that that's what it's supposed to do. Sleeping disorders will be discussed up next in effects. Because there are so many effects, I had to take you to my huge backyard just to tell you all about them. So the first category under effects I'd like to discuss are the mental effects. And under that category, there are two main points I'd like to discuss: microsleeps as well as hallucinations. Microsleeps are a short, uncontrollable sleep that you get that can happen anywhere. It's dangerous because it can even happen behind the wheel. In these 30 seconds, the person is essentially blind whether their eyes are open or closed, and usually they don't even realize that they're asleep. So up next are hallucinations. Hallucinations and sleep deprivation aren't the same as something you might see in movies where somebody's walking through the desert and a big target appears. No, hallucinations and sleep deprivation are more like a light flickering when it's not actually doing that, or seeing somebody at the corner of your eye when nobody's actually there. There's a story of a man who was put in a hospital for unknown reasons who began to suffer from sleep deprivation because of his change of environment. He woke up one night, during Halloween actually, and looked to the left where there was a pumpkin and claimed that it actually started talking to him. Who could have thought? The next way sleep deprivation can affect you is emotionally. It can put your emotions on a wild roller coaster, or, much like a trampoline, make them go up, oh my goodness, or down. Third on the list are disorders. The four I'll be talking about are insomnia, sleep apnea, anxiety, and depression. Insomnia is described as the inability to fall asleep, or at least the inability to stay asleep. Sleep apnea interrupts your breathing while you sleep, keeping you in a small state of restlessness, or at least a shallow state of sleep, keeping you from getting that restful sleep that you need to survive through your day. This can also stop your breathing for roughly about 30 seconds. The third thing, anxiety, is usually described as a state of timidness or kind of scaredness. This can make your nerves shot and make you very scatterbrained during the day. Fourth is depression. This is the worst of the group, because you can have depression in a room full of people, yet still feel alone. There was a quote or a small story from somebody that said, depression is like standing underneath a thick pane of glass while people walk above you. You bang on that glass, pleading for somebody to get you out, but they can't hear you because they don't even know that you have that. Last but certainly not least are the physical effects. The three physical effects I'll be talking about are your motor skills, your immune system, and other health defects. The first one, motor skills, those keep you on balance. The second thing, your immune system, fights off infectious diseases such as flu and the cold. A lowered immune system makes you more susceptible to these things. The third thing, other health defects, can be things such as diabetes and heart disease, and those things can even lead to death. Up next, I interviewed a pastor and his wife to see how sleep deprivation affects them in their day-to-day lives. All right, this is Pastor Doug. So the first question is, how many hours of sleep do you get on average per night?
I try to shoot for 7 or 8, but I normally get about 6.
6 total?
Yeah.
Gotcha. All right, the second question is, how does sleep deprivation affect your job?
Well, being a pastor, there's people coming with all kind of issues and concerns in their lives, and if I'm sleep deprived, I can't really focus on what they're talking to me about, and I kind of may zone out or kind of daydream a little bit like that, and it can really affect somebody's life and me helping them by not being alert and being ready. And if I'm preaching, it's really hard because I'm trying to stay awake, and I may yawn in the middle of a message, or I may have black circles under my eyes, or look a little less excited about what I'm trying to talk about.
Nice. All right, and the last question is, how do you usually overcome sleep deprivation? What is your go-to thing when you're tired and you need to wake up?
5 hour energy. But other than that helps me, but it doesn't change my sleep deprivation. So what I would probably say, try to either take a nap in the middle of the day at some point in time if I can get away, or I just try to take a night and just try to go to bed real early and get a really good solid night's sleep. That's how I do it.
All right, well, thank you so much.
Thank you.
So now on to Miss Regina. So, on average, how many hours of sleep do you think you get per night?
Probably around 6.
6?
Yeah, I'm lucky.
How many hours do you think you need?
Probably about 8 or 9.
8 or 9.
Uh-huh.
How do you think sleep deprivation affects you, like in your workplace?
Well, it's hard for me to focus, and I can't, I tire easily. Concentration is not good at all. And
That's about it.
yeah, I guess.
You seem a little tired yourself.
Yeah, I'm tired.
All right, and so what would you say is the one thing, kind of like your go-to to almost defeat sleep deprivation? Like if you're tired and you're sleepy, what do you go to wake you up?
Just lots of, well, not lots, but I mean, just caffeine, coffee,
Coffee.
or anything, any kind of drink that's got caffeine. I don't do the 5 hour energy things or nothing like that, but yeah, coffee or tea or Mountain Dew, anything that's gonna try to give me or chocolate.
Gotcha. Well, thank you very much. So the last main point we'll discuss are the treatments and cures. One thing you can do are implement healthy habits, such as changing your environment. The first thing to avoid are bright lights when you sleep. Even the tiniest amount of bright light that is shining into your face can affect the quality of your sleep. So anybody with night lights, sorry, that has to go. Up next is sleeping with a TV on. Even I sleep with a TV on, so I'm kind of a hypocrite in this area, but as those lights flash on you, it affects your rapid eye movement, which also decreases the effectiveness of your sleep. Third is eating and drinking. Usually, anytime eating after around 6 p.m., your body is continually processing that food and trying to convert that to energy. So as you're trying to go to sleep, that is constantly going on, and that is something that is actively going on, so that can also keep you awake. Lastly are drugs. Say no to drugs, kids. So the last thing you can do is seek help. Go to a psychiatrist or a psychologist who are trained professionals who are more than happy to help you find ways you can sleep. If you don't think it's that serious or you don't want to shell out the cash, you can go online and research it for yourself to help you find ways you can sleep better. As for me, it's getting pretty late, so I think I'm going to head out for the night. Good night, guys.